I'd like to talk about sources of information that are good for people who are interested in ICOs. And a little secret is this lovely report that comes from ICO Bench, which is a ratings platform and a lot more. Actually, it's hugely useful. And this report is free of charge, and you can get hold of it by simply putting your email address into the site, which is icobench.com. Now, a few things, snippets I'd like to pick out. Really good to know that of the top ICOs ever to date, the top one is Dragon at $320 million raised. That's a huge sum. That's actually followed by HDAC at 258 million and Filecoin at 257 million, Tezos at 232 million and EOS at $185 million. Isn't it great to know that we're working in such an exciting area with so many funds raised? Now, it also looks at the top countries on the ICO market. And the first country for ICOs is the USA with 457, that's 457 ICOs to date. Quickly followed by the UK with 269 ICOs to date. And then Singapore, and followed by Russia, Switzerland, Estonia. Just to say, there's also some action coming from Cyprus and Slovenia. But isn't it interesting that when you look at the global perspective, that actually the UK is very active for ICOs, possibly more active than people realise. And that's particularly noteworthy. There's a lovely chart here with some extra statistics as well. Now, looking at the top platforms used by ICOs, unsurprisingly, Ethereum is way ahead of everybody else. That's the most popular platform, used by 80% of ICOs, followed by Waves, and that's used by 2.7%, Stellar 0.89%, Neo 0.63%, and Script 0.37%. Again, it's very interesting to look at that. Another thing I just wanted to point out was the size of the ICO market. Did you know that actually we had 50 different ICOs completing the week ending June 4th? That's 50 in that 1 week alone, which is almost double the average for a week's of ICOs. That's absolutely amazing. And the volume in that week was 257 million. The average funds raised was over $5 million, which is great. Also, just like to look at the market size in the last 12 months. Now, fascinatingly, May had the largest number of ICOs complete. That was 129. And that is actually over $1 billion worth of funds raised, which is incredible. Average funds raised of 7.9 million. Interestingly though, March had fewer ICOs at 122, but the revenue raised was actually 1.7 billion, which is fascinating. Average funds raised $14 million. Really all fascinating. And really just wanted to finish by saying that there's a lovely section in the report that covers the market size by industry in the past 12 months. And that's really, really very fascinating. And that, I would say, is really essential reading for anybody who's thinking about raising funds for an ICO and wants to have an idea as to how much funds they might raise. So there's lots more than I've just pointed out in this fantastic report. It's free from the guys at ICO Bench. Cannot recommend it enough. It's a weekly report. Make the most of it, review it, and quickly get to know the ICO market very well.